What is going on, YouTube? I'm here today, Carnage Porting and Performance. So today we're going to be doing an install on this 2024 Mustang GT. We're going to be taking off this stock intake manifold. We're going to be installing this ported Cobra jet manifold. And I'm waiting on the adapter plate right now from Bajman Speed Shop or Bajman Speed Shop. I'm waiting on that, but for right now, I'm just gonna get everything started, get everything prepared. I already have the battery disconnected. That's like kind of the first thing you wanna do, because you are gonna need to disconnect your fuel rail. So pretty much you're gonna need to disconnect this return line right here, then this return line right here. And when you do that, it's better when you have the battery unplugged so the fuel system is all depressurized and you don't have gas squirting everywhere. Either way, I'm gonna be stuffing towels underneath so that you don't gotta worry about no fuel leaking down underneath into your engine bay. And then I also have the intakes removed. Pretty straightforward. There's just a little hose clamp or two hose clamps, a little 8mm or 7mm, I'm sorry. And you just loosen those, and then you just kind of loosen the intakes right here, and then they should pull out really, really easily. Pretty straightforward on taking those out. But I'm gonna hop onto a different POV, and then I'm gonna be kind of doing a whole little walkthrough with you guys on how I'm gonna be going about this. So now that we got the battery all removed and the intake, or not the battery removed, but the battery disconnected, we have the intakes taken out. We're going to be taking off our throttle bodies. First thing you're going to want to start doing is just taking off these little connections. You want to pull up on this red tab like that, and it should just slide right out just like that. And then you just want to repeat on this side. There you go. Might be a little bit tricky because it is held in by a little pin right here, but you can pull it out, but you can also take it out if you would like. So now we're gonna be taking these throttle bodies off. It's just gonna be either 5/16 socket or a 8mm. And I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that right now. So it's gonna be totally quick. Now I'm just taking off this right here. Go ahead and remove that. There we go. And then that's going to be, you're pretty much just going to repeat the same setup for the other side as well. All right, now our next step for the process is we are going to be removing this little vacuum hose right here. I think this is for the brake booster, I'm pretty sure. And then we're also going to be removing just this bracket that holds these heater core hoses in place, and then they also hold these little foam grommets in place because we are going to need to disconnect the injectors in a second. Alrighty, so I know that these clips, they can be a little bit tricky whenever you're trying to remove them. All you really want to do is, if you see these two little white prongs right here, you want to pry up on those, just kind of push up on them, and then you want to squeeze this pin like this, push in and pull out, and then it should slide right out. Sometimes I know it can be a little bit tricky. I'm just gonna go ahead and just remove these guys right here. These are just little 10mm nuts. And with this, you just gotta find its little tug and just pry it off. It's just a little plastic grommet. So once that's out of the way, you can start to kind of loosen everything up right here. I'm gonna disconnect that right there. This pull up right here. And then just disconnect this right here. Now you want to just start disconnecting all of your injector wires. The way you do that is you just push down on this little tab right here. And sometimes you get a little tricky to get your finger and you feel a little pop. You should, and then boom, pops right out. So you just want to do that for all 8 injectors right there. And then you want to do the same thing with this side. So you just, I'm going to show you how I do it. So you push up on these two pins right here. And then, let's see. Just like that. And then once it's pushed in, you squeeze, push, kind of pull it out a little more. Once it's out like that, you squeeze, push, and then when you pull, it should come right out. Just like that. Yeah, it's leaking all over. All right, just try and make sure it doesn't leak too much. Now that we got the fuel return lines disconnected and all the fuel injectors disconnected as well, we're gonna start unbolting the fuel rail on the manifold. So with a 10 millimeter. Okay. Put that bolt out right there. These ones are really long, so be wary of that. And then you just want to get the two on the back as well. Perfect. Probably start seeing the fuel rail start to loosen and move a little bit more. Okay, now let's start the removal process of the fuel rail. There's one more thing that I did forget to mention. It is going to be this fuel rail pressure sensor. All you're going to want to do is just lift up. There's a little tab at the bottom. Just want to lift up. It's very similar to the intakes. You just should come out just like that. Just like that. So it's just a little pull tab like that. Okay, now let's start removing the fuel rail. Okay, it takes a little bit of wiggling and finagling, but you will eventually get it out. You do just have to wiggle it just a little bit. Once you do that, carefully remove your fuel rail. Might be stuck on something, or it's a little bit tricky to remove. There might be another bolt or anything like that, but I promise it's just because there's little O-rings inside that seal it inside. So as long as you just kind of finagle it and wiggle it, should be all good. Alrighty, and then you got your 8 millimeter bolts for your intake manifold, or 5/16. First, what we're gonna do though, we're gonna take off these sensors right here, and then apply some pressure. You should hear a click, and it slides right out, just like that. And then with this one, this is gonna be one of those lift pins, so you just lift it up, kind of slant down, and there you go. Then those harnesses are removed just like that. Now we're gonna start unbolting these. And then there's also two sensors at the bottom for your IMRCs, or your intake manifold runner controllers. And they're gonna pretty much control the flaps inside. So we just need to disconnect those at the bottom, but okay, I'll just take these out. And then these ones, these are going to be stationary bolts, so these actually don't move. You don't have to worry about taking them out. They're not going to fall out of place or anything like that. So you just want to do these three right here. Make sure it's all loose. So there's three on this side, and then there's going to be three on the other side as well. The other bolt's going to be right here. Okay, cool. Now that all those are good, want to just repeat on the driver's side as well. Let's get that. Then this one, I'm actually going to use a longer extension. Just like that, the manifold should start to lift up once you have disconnected all of your bolts. And what you want to do is kind of start shimming it, finagling it until you can get those sensors, and then get them out, and I will update you guys once I do that. I was able to take those sensors out. Now I just gotta take this little thing off really quick. Just pry that out. Now, there you go. There's the manifold right there. Oh, she's dirty. All right, set her down. So with those two clips back there, it's just gonna be the little slide pins. You just slide it out and then pull it. But pretty much once you get those out, you just kind of want to zip tie them out of the way just so you don't create a false knock or anything like that while you're driving or doing a pull, anything like that. So now that everything is, all the wires are tucked as best as we can, manifold's out, everything is out. To start getting that guy in, we're gonna get it kind of put together. I'll show you the process of that and how that goes. So we're gonna start putting everything together. Bosma Speed Shop does supply 5/16 or 8mm bolts to actually mount these little holes onto the Cobra Jet right there. So we already got our O-ring installed. And let's just kind of start mounting everything up. Make sure it's gonna look good. Now that we got this installed, this is the adapter right here. Looks good inside. Now there's just a couple things that you want to transfer over. One is going to be the map sensor right here. Pretty much you just get that off of your stock manifold. It's going to be located right behind your IMRC switches. It's going to be this little guy in here. And then pretty much you just transfer it over to right here, transfer the bolt as well. And there you go, you got your map sensor. Okay, so now I have transferred the map sensor. Now, and I also transferred the fuel rail. I will say the fuel rail is a little bit tricky to get on. What I actually had to end up doing was I had to shave this little corner piece up here just to kind of get the fuel rail to go up enough so I can actually fit it in. So you will 100% have to do that, I will say. I tried every which way possible to try and fit it on, but you do end up having to shave this little bit off right here. But once you actually do that, your fuel rail should fit just fine. It should actually just plop right in. I was actually really surprised on how easy it went in. So now that we got all this done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just bolt in our fuel rail, and then we're gonna throw her into the car, and then we're gonna try to make this a little bit straightforward, make it easy as I can. Stay tuned. And then also, because this manifold didn't come with these manifold bolts, I just shared the ones from the old S650 manifold. They are a little tricky to take out. Pretty much you just have to really tug and pull at it, and then they'll come out. And then putting them in this manifold right here, you just like place them really hard. I used some vice grips right there, and it helped really well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and then install this bad boy in. Alrighty, everybody. Cobra Jet is now in the car. I know I have skipped ahead just a little bit. It is the next day. So pretty much from that video, or from that last clip that I did, all you want to do is just repeat everything that you did from the start. I will go over a couple things right now on some things that helped me, some things that you might need to do. So for example, the Cobra Jet that I was provided, it didn't come with these little return or these feed lines right here for the vacuum hoses. So I actually had to end up making my own. What I actually ended up doing was I used a little rubber grommet. I shoved a piece of, I think this is 3/4 inch elbow hose, and I ran a heater hose all the way to the oil return line, or the PCV line. And so pretty much that's how that is right now. That's just gonna be temporary. I am gonna be installing the Bosma Speed Shop evac to his exhaust system. Pretty much that system, it pretty much takes your blow by, instead of recirculating it into your engine or into your manifold, it actually is going to recirculate it into your header, creating negative crankcase pressure, which is usually good for the car. But anyways, for the brake booster, I actually ended up cutting this line right here that was on it normally. And then I used this heater core hose, and then pretty much just shoved it in there. It stays in there really good, you know, it doesn't move or anything like that. And realistically, this isn't getting too much actual pressure itself. It's just mainly vacuum for the most part. And then pretty much we also went ahead and plugged this off right here. For Gen 4, you will need to plug it off because of the electronic brake booster. Anything below that, S650, Gen 3, Gen 2, anything like that, that is gonna be part of your brake booster. But for Gen 4, you're just gonna cap that off. And then also, on your old manifold, you had 4 plugs. It was gonna be your top sensor, your 2 IMRC controllers, and then your 1 map sensor. Like I said previously, all you need to transfer is just that 1 map sensor. I've zip tied the rest of the connectors back there, as you can see right there. So with all of that being said, the Cobra Jet is installed. I did have his tuner load a base map tune for it. It will need a base map tune for sure. If you are installing this, don't just install it and then try starting the car up. It will not start. You will need a base map tune for it. But other than that, that's pretty much the install of the Cobra Jet on the S650 Mustang. Like I said, everything is pretty straightforward for the most part. All you really want to do for putting everything back on is just kind of reverse the steps of taking everything back off. It's pretty straightforward. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video right here. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, you want any more information, definitely leave me a comment. I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment. I'll try and answer the questions as best as I can. Or if you guys have any tips and tricks or kind of little stuff to, you know, give me some advice, that some words in the comments would be absolutely amazing. But other than that, that's going to be the install of this Cobra Jet on this S650 manifold. I'll see y'all in the next one.